Alright guys, we're back with another video here. A question we get asked a lot about the plugins is, are they for residential or commercial work? The answer is that they can do either one. It's just a matter of customizing some of the parts, mainly a lot of the labor parts, to fit your residential needs as opposed to maybe your commercial needs. So yes, with the stock plugin that you see here, these are all the stock items that come with it. With that, we can certainly do a residential takeoff here. We have just a simple house. It's a pretty small one actually. Doesn't even have an attached garage. Looks like it's 36 by 30. So we're going to be roughly in the 1,000 square foot range, somewhere right there. So we're going to jump in. We're going to do this real quick. Not going to take very long, but we'll just show you that the parts here within the parts and assemblies in the plugin can certainly be used to do that. And generally, you see me do the work in the order that it, if I was on the job site, it would be done in. When it comes to walls and footings, I generally do not do that. I generally do the walls first, and I've shown this in previous videos, and I'll show you again why here in just a second. So looks like here we got the footings jumping down to a walkout here. So let's check out that 2 and 3 S3 detail here. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna just have 8-foot walls, 8 foot by 8 inch on both of them, a 16 by 8 footing. Pretty standard stuff for a residential foundation here in our area. So we'll just start dropping some parts in here real quick and get going. So again, all the assemblies are drag and drop. The standard PlanSwift digitizer assemblies are not. All the ones in our plugin here are, though. So it looks to me like we're that 8 foot tall here, and looks like it goes around to pretty much the same area on the other side. Looks like it jumps down about the same spot there. So we'll just start here. And when I scaled the page, it was pretty darn close to being right on the money, so I'm just going to go with the measurements here instead of looking at the actual dimensions, and I bet we're going to be alright. We'll check one here, and let's see if that gets us right there. So yeah, looks like those are correct, and we should be 30 foot out there, and we are, so that's good. Alright, it does give us some footing elevations, so we do know where we're at, and it's not even a 2 foot jump. Looks like it's 1 foot 8. So what I'm going to do before I do any more, I'm going to get the rebar and the items set on this wall here. Looks like we're going to have number 5 uprights at 12 and number 5 horizontals at 12. So let's just drop those in. That way when we duplicate this wall to change the height, everything will change with it, and we don't have to do it again here. So we'll drop those in. We'll change it to number 5 here. We're going to be 12 on center. Going to be 1 grid of those. And we'll need to change this to use it for the wall and not the footing there. And yep, that'll do that. And we got 1 grid of, I think these are going to be number 4s preset, but we need to change them to 5s. This customer here, the customer I'm doing this takeoff for, he wanted to bid the job the way it shows on the drawings. Really in our area it's all going to be number 4 bar, but he wanted to bid it the exact way it was shown on the drawings. So that's why we're using the number 5 bar. And looks like that's going to be it. Yeah, anchor bolts be supplied by the builder. He will always exclude them. So we got that set. I guess we could pick up our corner bar real quick if we want to do that. Most guys will just take their 20-foot sticks bar and bend them around them corners. This particular customer doesn't. He will actually do it the way any engineer would show you to do it. I've never seen an engineer take a 20-foot bar and bend it around a corner. So, all right. So now let's just take that. Let's duplicate it. We're going to go 1'8", so we're going to be at 9'8" on that because we had a 1/8 jump. So let's just change the color there. And the height of those bars and the continuous or the horizontal bars would actually change with that. And I'm just going to do it at 5'2". I imagine this is going to be a scenario where you're going to probably just do it 5 foot, or because he's got 2-foot wide panels, so he'd probably do 2 panels and a 1 foot, 12-inch filler, or he might even extend it to 6 foot, if he could. But I doubt he's actually going to do 5'2". But again, we're going to do it the way it shows on the drawing here. And it looks like we're going to jump one more time, and this one is going to be a 2-foot jump, so that one's going to be taking us to 11'8". And again, let's just change the color so we can see it a little bit better. And what was that? 29.4, I believe. Yep. Okay, there we go. All right, there's our, nope, sorry, that's wrong. We got a walk out there. So, I need to do that. Sorry guys, I got a little bit ahead of myself. All right, so there's the 2 side walls anyway. Now we need to do a wall there for the walkout, and that's going to be 1S3. And we're just going to be 4 foot by 8 inch, and looks like number 5's at 12 on center again. So we'll just take this and duplicate it and change the height again. So this will be our walkout there. There we go. Okay, so there's our foundation walls done that quick. He wanted to exclude the retaining walls for now. It's going to be site dependent. The owner was talking about taking a large majority of the dirt off both sides of the house down, so those might not need to be. He wanted to do some block retaining walls, landscape walls, instead of doing poured concrete. So that'll be something extra to add on later, depending on the dig. And actually, we got these stoops here. We can get them real quick. And let's see how far out they are. Yeah, you're only 5 foot out. You're you're not even going to be far enough to say he goes a 3 foot dig there. Yeah, you're not going to have 2 foot to even put that footing on. You're only going to be a foot back. So we're just going to have to do these at 8 foot walls also. So we'll just go ahead and drop these in. And what was it for 8? Okay, and we got another little one up here, even smaller. Give dimensions, sure it does. Alright, there we go. So those are both 8 foot walls, match those. I'll possibly drop down here for the stoop cap to sit on, maybe, I don't know. But that's just information we don't have, so we'll just assume they're 8 footers. Okay, now, again, I told you a lot of times I do the foundations first before I do the footings. And here's why. I'm never going to have dimensions to the footing corners. I'm going to have dimensions to the walls though. So once I get the walls set, generally, and certainly with residential house foundation, we're going to be centered on there. So we'll just drop a footing in here, and all this footing window will pop up for us. There we go. So we're going to be 16 by 8. Elevation doesn't matter because we're not putting any excavation in here. Number of formed sides, I'm going to set this to 0. Actually, I'm going to set it to 1, and I'll show you why here in a minute. So basically, we're going to have this footing here. This is all going to be the upper footing. And yeah, I realize that those footings are overlapping there. We'll fix that here in just a second. It only takes just a couple seconds to fix that. And we're going to have that footing there. And this footing, even though the walls are different heights, the footings are all going to be the same. Oh, that's why I kept hitting 39.4. Alright, so there's our footings. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to back them off so they line up there on the edges. Not a big deal, but it only takes a second to do it right. And now I've also got these, since we got jumps here, I just go in an extra foot on those to pick up some extra concrete on them. Same thing here. And then we can just take that and put it back behind the walls. And let's go back to our detail and see what, we got 2 number 5s. And we're going to do number 5 dowels sticking out at 12 on center. So we'll go here, number continuous rebar, we'll just set that to 2. Number 5 is already set. Residential footing, we don't have any transverse bars. This here, I'm going to go 3'4". Actually, I'm not even going to go to that. I need 4, 30, 34, 2'10". I need 3 foot to get me the proper lap splice on that. 30 inches sticking out of the footing. Need those at 12 on center. That's good. And that should do our footing right there. So now we can just pick up some corner bars in that footing. Need to pick up a couple of corner bars in that pink wall right there too. So we'll just go ahead and pick these up real quick. Get all our footing ones done and come back and grab them wall ones that we missed. Okay, that'll do the footing. And let's turn that off. Let's just get these wall ones right here. Since we've already started on them, let's just continue with that same count. Need a bunch of them up here. Okay, got those, and that pink wall we need to tie in. And the reason I'm tying the pink wall into the green, not the green into the pink, is because the pink wall is shorter, has less bar. If I tied the green one into the pink wall, it would be sticking bars out of here that are above this wall that would do us no good. So that's why I'm tying the shorter wall into the taller wall. That's why I'm digitizing the corner bar on that. The size of the bar is obviously going to be the same. It's just a matter of how many of them we need. Okay, and that should do that. Now we just have a matter of some interior footings there to pick up. And those are on 7S3. Where's that at? Right there. Okay, looks like that was, says that was that one, but it also says that's the same one right there, and that ain't, oh, that isn't right. What's 4S3? Stair detail. Thickened slab. Huh. So I guess that's just some thickened slab, and maybe looks like we're just doing that one footing right there. So 3x3 easy enough. 3 by 3 by 12, 3 number 5s each way. Looks like the rest of it's just thickened slab there. 3 by 3 by 12. Enough. Okay. Thickened concrete slab. Yeah, I'm not sure. Shows those tied into that footing, but it's really not. Doesn't show a detail for interior footings, just shows a thickened slab. So that's all right. We'll get it in there. Over 17.9. There we go. So there's the one footing that we actually have, and yeah, I mean they're going to be framing a wall right there anyway. They're never going to do a column block out on that, so I'm not going to put it in there. I know he wanted it bid the way the drawings show, but they're never going to do that. So looks like that's it. Looks like we're done with the footings and walls. I guess one thing we can do is we can throw some jump bars in there. Let's do that real quick for where the footing jumps are there. Alright, so we got a footing jump there and there, and we got 2 more here. Okay, so we'll just go to our count rebar items and take our footing jump bar, drop it in. We're going to be number 5s. We're going to have 2 bends. I always go 2 inches longer than the lap splice, which would be 2.6. Obviously on a number 5 bar, be a standard lap splice. Leg 2 is going to be 2 because we got a 2-foot jump on one and 1'8" on the other. I'm just going to leave them at 2 instead of doing them separate. And that'll get those for us. And right there, I know you see 9 there, you see nothing there. It's just a refresh issue. If I do that, it's actually there. So okay, so let's just get everything in order here so we can keep track of it. We got that, we got that. What else? That's gonna be it. It's ready to move on to the slab. So let's go here, and what are we gonna have? 4-inch 610 wire mesh, 2-inch insulation underneath it, 6mm vapor barrier, 4 inches of rock. I know they're going to do 6 inches of rock, but he wanted to leave the rock out and build that separate depending on the dig because he's not digging the hole. So let's just get our slab in here. So we'll go 4-inch, rename it for residential purposes here if we want to. And we'll be just inside the walls, obviously. And here, I'm actually going to put a ledge in there for him. If we look at that detail, that one S3, if we go back to it right here, shows that wall, or that slab just being poured right up against that wall. On that walkout, since you're going to have, all this this fill put back in here, I know he's going to want a slab ledge to be put in there, so I'll just do a double 2x4 slab ledge. So the way we can do that, we don't even have to digitize it. We can just take our linear ledge part, drop it in that wall right there, that pink wall, and we're going to be 3 inches wide, and let's go 4 inches down. It's called the slab ledge. It's ready for us to digitize, but we don't need to. And oops, we're going to be 3-inch there. Alright, so there's our slab ledge for that. So now what we can do is we can take that slab, move it over 3 inches because that's where it'll actually be. And we're going to take this and set it to 0, so we need to uncheck both those. And you could either delete it or put 0 in. It's going to be the same thing either way. And if we refresh this, we see that we got 1,001 square feet there. No sub base, but we actually have labor for placing it and for grading it. Basically, we're just not supplying the material there. 4-inch edge forms. This basement floor here, we're not going to have any edge forming at all. And I think it did show expansion joint all the way around that, didn't it? Yeah, it sure did. It's pretty rare again here where we're at. We generally just pour the slabs tight up against the foundation because neither one of them are, in theory, neither one of them should move. I'm going to leave it in there. It shows it in there. I'm going to leave it there. We're not going to tape the perimeter. That's generally only with the stego wrap that we do that, but here we're just doing a 6 mil. And we'll just use some house wrap tape on that. Let's see that. We're not going to seal a basement floor. Control joints are good. What else do we need? Oh, we need the insulation under the slab. So we got a sub-slab insulation area part here. Again, with an area part, if I just drop it in, it's going to assume I want the whole area unless I digitize a certain portion of it if I only wanted it in some areas. So there's our 2-inch insulation right there. You know, if I just had it, you know, maybe in this corner for some odd reason, I would digitize that and it would just pick up that amount. Right now, it's just assuming I want the entire area, which in this case we do. I guess we don't want it right here, that 3 inches, but I'm not going to digitize it separate to save 3 inches there. So now we just need to pick up that thickened slab right there, which right there. So we're going to be 16 wide and 8 deep with 2 number 5s in those areas. So to pick that up, we'll just go here and take our thickened concrete part. Again, the linear and the segment are the same part. The segment just starts over at every point. The linear just lets you keep on going. So I'm 16 by 8. We're going to be thickened slab. And we're going to have 2 slopes because we've got one on each side. You know, if we had like a turn down edge, we'd only have 1 slope because it only slopes to the inside where the outside would be a vertical surface. So we have 2 slope sides, 1 to 1. And when I have 2 slope sides, I digitize them on the center here. So we'll go ahead and digitize them, then we'll come back and we'll add in the extra rebar that we need there. So just an easy way to line these up. And what do we got? 11, 6 and a half. Okay. And I'm going to do it over top that footing because that footing is actually down from the top of the slab just a little bit. I know it's not down far enough to get the full 8 inches above it, but it's, or actually it is, because it was down 8 inches, so we can get the full 8 inches on it there. So it actually is in the right spot there. Let's see, and we're only going to go up to that footing right there. And what do we got? Whoops, gotta go there. There we go, now I got it right. And we're going to be 15.1. And I gotta go right there. There, we got it. So there's our thickened slab right there. And what else do we need? Oh yeah, we need the rebar there. We had 2 number 5s, right? Yep, 2 number 5s. So again, we don't have to digitize the rebar. We can just take this. It's gonna It's going to inherit the linear from the parent item. There's two number 5s right there. It's already going to pick up the overlap based on the splice length. If you know additional waste you want on top of the overlap, you can put something in there, something different if you wanted to. But there's our two number 5s for that. So a little over 5 sticks, and there it is. He didn't want to bid the exterior concrete. They're getting other bids on that. They're thinking they're going to have somebody else do the exterior. So he didn't want to do the stoop caps. Plus he didn't know how deep they were going to be and whatnot. So didn't want to mess with that. So looks like we're done here. So yeah, that's just a pretty quick takeoff. I know a lot of you guys probably just run right through here, just pick up the linear feet of wall and throw a unit price at it. You know, everybody's got their magical unit price numbers that they just happen to know right off the top of their head. This customer here doesn't like to do that because, you know, generally you're going to be putting number 4 bars in at, you know, around here they're putting them every 3 foot on center, most likely 32 inches tops, I would say. This plan here had number 5s at 12 on center. You know, so unless you guys have, you know, 10 different unit prices for all those different scenarios, I don't know how you could get there. So, but yeah, we're just showing how easy it is to use the plug-in here. You know, a lot of guys want to know if we could do residential takeoffs with it. Here we've shown you we can. I think we picked up everything this customer wants. You know, I know we didn't pick up everything on the drawing here, but this is how he wanted to do it. So, yeah, we'll be back with some more videos here. So stay tuned.